I had been watching YouTube, saw some other patients dealing with bipolar, anxiety, panic disorder, agoraphobia, etc. Decided maybe I'll put up a video too. I was diagnosed with bipolar in 2004. Thought it was bipolar disorder too, but they would never tell me which one it was. But said bipolar is not exact. So I also have panic disorder on top of that. Was initially diagnosed as anxiety disorder. Got upgraded to panic disorder a few years ago. I had my first panic attack when I was 15. I'm 31 now. The anxiety gets a little bit more pronounced every year. The bipolar is more under control than it was the bipolar swings. The anxiety is really the one that's still bad. I was in a mental health program for about 4 years, and I just got in a new clinic earlier this month. Just had my second visit. I see them every week. Trying to get myself back together on a new program. I've been in a few meds over the last few years. I wrote down a list here. Klonopin, Lamictal, Seroquel, Depakote, Lithium, Doxepin, Buspirone, Lexapro, Risperd, I can't even pronounce that one. Maybe one or two others. Those are the ones I have written down. I get panic attacks that wake me up in the middle of the night where I'm choking, have trouble breathing, catching my breath. I'll just stop breathing while I'm asleep, have a panic attack, wake up. I get attacks in the daytime too, but with breathing exercises, usually I can find them off better than I could last year. It's a big improvement because my anxiety has been getting worse every year since I was 21, a little bit. When I was in treatment for 4 years, they had me on Klonopin, and that was the only time my anxiety has been under control since I was 21. It was a little window of lower anxiety. Otherwise, it gets a little bit more severe every year. I'm learning how to hide it a little bit better now, unless it's a full-blown panic attack. Sometimes I can even make it through those pretty good, just with breathing exercises, so they're not as severe as they used to be. To keep my anxiety down, I use a few supplements. 5-HTP to bump up serotonin. That's a train. Under the train, just like the Blues Brothers, and I live in Chicago, so that's funny. So anyway, I've been using 5-HTP. It's an over-the-counter supplement you can get at the drugstore for serotonin, to increase serotonin that crosses the blood-brain barrier. Omega-3 fish oil supplement for concentration and to keep the bipolar mood swings from being as pronounced. I use valerian to help stabilize bipolar 2. Supposedly it works on the GABA neurotransmitters, just like benzodiazepines like Klonopin do. It's not as strong as the benzodiazepines. I stay away from caffeine, no caffeine, almost no sugar. I usually only drink water. I fish in my diet every week. I found a lot of this over the internet that I used to get the bipolar part of the problem more under control. And so far so good with that. The anxiety is a lot more stubborn though, so I have a long way to go with that. Hopefully the new clinic I just got into can help me out with meds. I read a lot about bipolar in the last 2 years. Found other patients and groups on the internet. I would talk to other patients over the internet, so I understand it a little bit better than I used to. So the bipolar doesn't catch me off guard as much. I can be in the manic phase and I don't have to worry about consequences of what trouble I'm going to get into, because I used to have a lot of problems. The last 2 years though, on top of that, I became agoraphobic. Actually starting last winter. You always have trouble with anxiety disorder with crowds. What's weird for me, I've always been in crowds pretty much my whole life, at work, in my spare time, on purpose. Been in bands, worked at the world's biggest airport, worked in downtown Chicago, Merchandise Mart. They call it the Chicago World Trade Center. I'm used to crowds and used to making parties that revolve around me and what I'm doing and what I plan for groups. Now I'm agoraphobic, wake up choking at night. So it's a big leap. Usually I'm anxious, not having an actual panic attack, but my adrenaline level gets raised a little. I go into one, even if I'm having fun. Pretty much anything that I like or dislike, enough to raise up my adrenaline level, sends me into a panic attack. It could be a funny movie, a real funny joke or something. 75% chance I'll have a panic attack if I'm really getting into it, really laughing. So I just pretty much just gotta stay in this zombie mode. Usually I can do breathing exercises and fight it back for a while, but it's hit and miss. When I'm out away from the house, it happens, it's even worse. I used to keep going out and having panic attacks in public places, like in a crowd, in a restaurant, in a store. If anybody would laugh, I would get mad. And then on top of the panic attack, then I would be mad, so it would be even worse. Those panic attacks in public places happened a lot last winter. Eventually, every time I went to the door, I could barely walk, so I just eventually quit going, and that's how the agoraphobia happened. When I get out there, I feel like I'm underwater. Usually I just sweat, have trouble breathing most of the day. Even after a few hours, come back home, still have trouble breathing. So hopefully when I get back on the meds, that'll be fixed. I had trouble with the last clinic I was in, so I just switched to a new one. Hopefully that'll work. I'm going to end this now before I go over time limit. And if you're having the same problem, leave me a comment. If you're having panic disorder, anxiety, bipolar, but there's a lot of information on the internet, so that's what helped me out so far. And maybe I'll post another video sometime soon.